Hello, welcome to Boardgame TV. I know it's been a while. I know it's been about a month since I posted, and I know everybody's probably wondering what's going on. But I want to get into some games here that I got and go over them and do some playthroughs. But first, I feel like I owe an explanation, and so here it goes. So about a month ago, my father-in-law, who my wife is very close to her dad, was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. He's 72 years old. A month before that, he seemed to be fine. He was just had a few aches and pains and thought he had a kidney infection. Next thing you know, he's in the hospital. Next thing you know, after that, he's got stage 4 terminal cancer, and of course, it's been devastating on my wife and on my kids. And there's no hope for him. He's only got a couple weeks to live. So I've been dealing with that, and we live pretty close to him, as a matter of fact. So we're my wife is definitely there all the time. He's got to the point where he's just on pain medicine and bedridden, and that's basically all they can do for him. So it's been a rough time lately, and that's why I haven't posted any videos. And to be honest with you, we don't know when he's going to pass on. We expect it to be, day by day. And so when he passes on, if you see me take another month break or something like that, then, that's probably what happened. I just ask for your, prayers and stuff like that. Especially for my wife, this has deadly devastated her. She's very close to her dad, and he'll be the second family member to have died from cancer. My younger brother died, and he got diagnosed, and 6 months later he was dead. And so it's just kind of a lesson on life that you need to enjoy and spend time with your loved ones and your family, and it kind of puts things in perspective. And especially now there's all this coronavirus garbage going around, and you just need to be with your family and love them. And I'm pretty sure I got some more tough times coming ahead when he passes on, because my kids love their grandfather, and of course my wife loves her dad, and he's a good man. And it's just sad to see him how he is now, because he's a shell of what he once was. So that's what's been going on for that. I won't dwell on it much more. Just, if you see another big gap or I don't post any videos anytime soon, that's what happened. He passed on. Another thing I want to talk about is the Shadows of Brimstone. Now, as many of you know, I've supported the new Kickstarter that's supposed to come out this September. And I duly expect that Kickstarter to be late. But the next big sale that Shadows of Brimstone has, hopefully, will have a bunch of new materials. They keep drip dropping a new thing out here and then. I know they have this Marshall set and these new hive monsters or whatever, and a few other things. And so when they have a sale with those and I get them, hopefully they'll be up for sale. And if I'm able to get them, then I will showcase a new Shadows of Brimstone playthrough, because I want to showcase the new stuff that they put out in between now and whenever the Kickstarter comes out. Now, of course, if you don't know the news about Flying Frog, they of course canceled their Gamma appearance. And the way the world's going now, who the hell knows if there'll be a Gen Con or anything like that. I mean, sporting events are being canceled left and right. Hell, I don't even know if WrestleMania is going to happen. So Who knows what this gonna cost on them to get production and stuff going, but they have had some sales before, but I'm waiting for, I think, maybe their Easter sale, and hopefully they'll have a good sale, and I can get and showcase some of the new missions and have kind of like a mini campaign going on with that, and hopefully they can maybe trickle out a few things, because like I said, I don't think this thing will come out on time in September. They've never come out on time. Nothing with Flying Frogs ever come out on time. It's not really a knock on them. That's just, you know, the way it is. You know, they got a lot of stuff to produce, and you know they produce a lot of stuff in China, and and you know, with the way this thing, the virus and everything's going over there, who knows, you know, so who knows. So but there is that, so I do plan on doing that. So you know, it was my anniversary with my wife, our wedding anniversary not too long ago, and my wife knows I love these games, and so just on a whim, she bought me the 2 Choose Your Own Adventure games. There's House of Danger and War with the Evil Power Master. And I want to take a look at House of Danger today. And for those of you who don't know, this will be telling my age. I was born in the early 70s, and when you grew up in the 80s, there were a lot of cool things in the 80s. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. But on the book front, the Choose Your Own Adventure book series was one of the most popular things. I mean, they had these at your school library, at your regular library. I think they had maybe over 100 of them. It seemed like they were coming out once a month. All kinds of different ones. Sci-fi, horror, fantasy, detective, mystery, stuff like that. I loved them. I was into them. I almost had all of them. And this was a staple of the 80s. And if you were a kid of the 80s, you know what a Choose Your Own Adventure book was. But basically what it was, for those who don't know, it was a book. You read the little beginning of the story, and you're on some adventure, and it would ask you to do things like, if you want to explore the mansion dining room, turn to page 21. If you wanted to explore the mansion foyer, turn to page 32. And so you would go to that page, and you would get offered a few other choices, and most of the time you would end up dying or something. It would the end, and you'd have to start all over, and this time make the opposite choice of what you made last time. And every now and then you get lucky and you come to a good ending. Some of the choices didn't seem to make any sense, but some were totally random. But hey, that was the fun of it. You know, you could read a book a couple times and do a different path. And they were fun books. Like I said, I loved them. I really loved the horror ones the best. But so in 2018, for whatever reason, I have no idea how this got going. I guess retro is in, so they say. I mean, look at stuff like Stranger Things. The 80s is kind of cool now and been making a comeback, and you know, just my personal opinion, the 80s is my favorite decade. You know, I've lived 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now it looks like 2020s. And the 80s has been my favorite decade. It's slasher movies, music. I just love the 80s. But Z-Man Games apparently got the idea to do these little mini games that are inexpensive. They're only like $25. And do a little kind of like a mini storyboard game based off one of the Choose Your Own Adventure books. Why they chose House of Danger, I don't know. They could have chose from any of them. There are 100 of them, or hell, at least. And but you know, I remember House of Danger, and I remember it being one of the better Choose Your Own Adventure books. It was a weird one. It has like a mishmash of all kinds of stuff in it. So they made the game, and it comes in this nifty little box, retro. Kind kind of like, you know, like it's a big version of the book. And this is the game board, and it comes with these components. These components aren't going to win any awards. You have your clue sheet there, clue cards. You have basically your story cards. You have a couple starting items. And that's basically it. Now this game can be played solo. It can be played with other people. You can have 4 people playing if you want. It's a family type game, so you don't have to worry about any sex, drugs, rock and roll, overly violence, or anything like that. You can play with your family. And it's small, simple, and basic stuff. It doesn't take long to set up. It takes you a whole 2 minutes, if that. And you start off with your thing here on the psychic scale. And it has level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you start off on number 3 here, the number 3, not the level 3. Then you have your danger meter. And you start that on 3. You get 2 starting cards, a bottle of water. And it tells you it's your starting cards. See? It's different. Discard any time to lower danger meter by 3. And the pocket knife is keep this item and you get an extra bonus 1 point on your die roll for a challenge. And there are different challenges you're going to have to do. And if you ever roll a 1, you automatically fail the challenge. Even if I had a pocket knife with me and I get extra items and stuff, you would still fail. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through and do the story part of it. So there's quite a bit of reading. And then you're going to make a choice and you're going to go from there. And you're going to, at times, basically do some die rolls and move this stuff around to play the game. And that's basically kind of really it. It's not overly complex. It just basically takes the story, House of Danger, and the choices you would normally make if you're just reading the book. Adds a few game mechanics to it now and then. Roll the dice here, move this here, try to get that there, do a challenge, do your goal, that kind of few things. So it's not really... now it does say that... Now, the 2 games, War with the Evil Power Master and House of Danger, play differently, as a matter of fact. They are not the same. And you'll see whenever we go War with the Evil Power Master. But it says on this game is that 60 minutes per chapter. And I think there are like 5 chapters here. So basically, at the beginning, you only get the first chapter. And this is the card you put over so you don't read. You know, here's chapter 1. You put this over that so you don't give away anything. And you have your chapter 1 clue cards. And then when you're done with chapter 1, you pull out the chapter 2 story cards and the chapter 2 clue cards, okay? And you go on from there. If you die, you don't really die, you just get set back. And the game comes with a nifty little, I'll show it to you here, you see? And it holds your little pieces in there pretty good. So that's how that works. And then, you know, it's one of those games you can take with you. The art is very retro. As you can see here, I'll show the instruction art. And it kind of looks like it did in the game, in the book. And the instructions, as you can see, is not very long. It just tells you basically the objects of the games, and you have different challenges. and what the danger meter represents, and that kind of stuff. And that's basically it. It doesn't... When you finish chapter 5, you've reached the end of the story and the game. There are several ways to conclude the game. The ending you see depends on the choices you made and the items you found. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to start a playthrough and do chapter 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, basically, we got to read this on the object game. It says, you are an aspiring detective and psychic investigator. For weeks, you have experienced recurring nightmares that you sense might be important. Your mission is to get to the bottom of these visions. You will decide how to move through the story as a group. Well, this is me. The story is divided into 5 chapters, each of which is to be played in a single session. Well, you really don't have to do that. I mean, you can just play them back to back to back. But let's start here. We're on chapter 1. Alright, it's a Tuesday morning in late June, and you wake up in a cold sweat. The nightmares came again last night. Even though you are an aspiring detective and psychic investigator, you haven't been able to make sense of the haunting dreams you've had these past few weeks. In your dreams, you keep seeing the same spooky house. You're still shivering under the covers when you hear the phone ring downstairs in your basement. And of course it says to continue on back, so we'll do so. Where you have your combination office and research laboratory. You dash down to the lab and answer it. I need, a weak voice says when you pick up the receiver. I need your help. You hear a loud click and the phone goes dead. But you were prepared. While the caller was talking, you activate your high-speed telephone tracing device. It instantly displays the caller's number 555-7259. Now, first of all, this actual book, House of Danger, I think came out in 1982. If you were alive in 1982, you know this tracing device crap was not nowhere near common. You had a rotary phone, and when you talked on that phone, you could not travel more than 2 feet from the phone because the cord was not that far. And let me tell you something, if you've never had to use a rotary phone, my God, if you trying to do a number and you do one thing wrong, you have to damn hang up and redo the whole damn phone call again. Ugh. People could pick up on the other phone on the other side of the house. I remember when call waiting was a technological feat back in the 90s. So I don't know what is tracer numbers. You call back the number right away, but there's no answer. After consulting the tall stack of reverse phone books behind your desk, you are disappointed to learn the number is unlisted. Again, for those of you who weren't around back then, we didn't have internet. We didn't have none of this cell phone crap. If you wanted to find a phone number, you had to look in a big-ass phone book. You are disappointed to learn the number is unlisted, and if it was unlisted, you are screwed. You sense that the phone call is somehow related to your nightmares. Later, while at the Hedgebrook police station to return a nightscope you borrowed for a recent stakeout, you describe the mysterious phone call, and it says continue on story card 1. And the story cards are, as you can see, chapter 1, story 1. So there you go. Your recurring dreams to your friend Sergeant Morrison. That call does sound strange, he says. We'll look into it. And about that house in your dreams, a voice says from the hallway. I wonder if you're dreaming about the Martin house out on Hedgebrook Road. Detective Murphy sticks his mustache face into the room. Modern house, ornate gate. That sounds like the Martin place, all right, says Sergeant Morrison. Strange things are reported to happen out there. Detective Murphy takes a puff on his pipe. The place is haunted, he says. I know it sounds unprofessional, but I've had a file on the Marston house for years and I'm sure of it. He waves a folder in front of your eyes and a phone number written on the front jumps out at you. It matches the one from your mysterious phone call. Continue on back. So the call is related to your nightmares. Your psychic sense were right. Draw clue 26 to discover your goal. Okay, so as you can see, the clues are marked easily. 1. But we're going to go to clue 26. And here it is. Clue 26, the grounds. Okay? And this is our goal. Get inside the Marston house. Chapter 1 goal. So you just take your goal here and you put it up there. That's it. Alright. Back at home, you grab a bottle of water and your trusty pocket knife, preparing for a new investigation. Why not a gun? That's the first thing I'd be taking. Half an hour later, you stand before the Martin residence, which appears exactly as it did in your nightmares. The house's futuristic look is a strange contrast to the antiquated appearance of the stone wall and the wrought iron gate, which is locked shut and wrapped in steel chains. Even though the air is balmy, a chill travels down your spine. The gathering clouds on the horizon hint at a brewing summer thunderstorm. Alright, here we go. If you search the wall for a way in, go to story card 13. If you climb the gate, go to story card 7. Well, I'm a little lazy. I don't like to climb stuff. So I think I'm going to search the wall. And see if I can't find a way in that way. So let's go to story card 13. So let's grab card 13. See what we have. Alright. Moving along the mossy stone wall that surrounds the property, you come across a jagged opening created by fallen rock. It's just big enough for you to squeeze through. Once on the other side of the wall, you find yourself standing in a cobblestone plaza surrounded by marble and bronze figures. Most of the sculptures depict men gazing off into the distance as if pondering the deeper meaning of it all, but at the edge of the courtyard is a monumental statue of a man atop a muscular steed. To your right, a stony pathway leads away from the statuary and into a picturesque garden where topiary bushes have been trimmed into whimsical shapes. Continuing on back. Now, I just do want to let you know, I have not played this game. I have not read anything in this game, so I have no clue or no idea any of the story. I have not read this book since I was a kid back in 1982, so it's not like I have that kind of memory. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. So, you know, we die, we die. Okay, here's the statue. If you inspect the statue of the man on the horse, go to story card 14. If you walk towards the bushes, go to story card 15. Story card 4, I'm sorry. I'm going to inspect the statue. I'm curious like that. So let's go to story card 4 and just see what the statue is. Maybe tell us some history of the place. The horseman is a dashing, bearded Civil War soldier, his bronze face stoic. He holds out a cavalry saber towards the brooding sky. The sword's edge glints in the weak sunlight that penetrates the thickening clouds above. The sword looks almost new. At the base of the statue is a plaque that proclaims this is a memorial to Henry Marston. The plaque reads, Henry Marston, born 1839, died 1887, general in the Union Army during the Civil War, severely wounded at the Battle of Shiloh in 1862. Appointed warden of Hedgebrook Prison, 1880. To your left is the entrance to a hedge maze. To your right is a grand picket fence with a rickety wooden gate. You can see 2 stone angel statues and beyond them a cemetery. Okay, optional challenge. We can search the monument's base, win, draw clue 18, lose, raise danger meter by 1. Optional challenge. Climb the statue to examine the saber, win, draw a clue, lose, raise danger meter by 2. You may try again. Okay. After challenges, make story choice below. If you enter the hedge maze, go to story card 12. If you visit the cemetery, go to story card 21. So what do I want to do about these challenges? I do want clues. And these are optional challenges. Now these little symbols here, let's take a look at the instructions. See what they are. This is perception. That's what that is. And that one is climbing. That's obvious. Okay. So I have to do a challenge. Now, it says in the instructions, some card represents challenges. You must undertake required challenges. However, these are both optional. But you choose whether to take an optional challenge. Okay. So, let's talk about a challenge here. It says, to perform a challenge, roll the die. To win the challenge, you must roll a number equal to or greater than the number marked by the danger mover on the danger meter. So right now we're at 3. So if I roll the dice, I have to roll 3 or higher, because it says if you roll less, you lose. Now I could use a knife, but it's not part of any of these challenges. This is a fighting, so let's see. Now, I can risk it and try either or both of them. And I have to get good rolls, and I can't re-roll. However, I do have the water, discard at any time to lower the danger meter by 3. But it's no point in it because it stays at 3. So what should I do? I think I'll try a perception challenge. Why not? If I only lose, I only raise it by 1. So let's see. Well, I passed. So I draw clue 18. Alright, that's fine. Clue 18. Let's see what I have. Alright, bonus story choice. When you inadvertently press a hidden switch, the statue slides to one side, revealing a cement passage. Ooh. Place the new story choice below at the bottom of story card 4. Okay. The option may be considered when you are ready to make your story choice. And it says, or if you want to see where the hidden passage leads, go to story card 28. You know what? I may do that. It's a hidden passage. We're getting in there. I guess I won't do the second one. I guess we'll just go ahead and go to story card 28. So let's go ahead and pick story card 28. There we go. Okay, you creep through the darkness and find the cement walls end as natural stone and earth begins. Occasional vents to the surface let in just barely enough light to see by. Ahead you glimpse the warm firelight of torches. You come to a fork in the tunnel, lit by the dancing flames. One tunnel descends deeper and is half filled with water. You could swim through it, but you can't see where the tunnel leads or how far it goes. Another tunnel looks partially caved in. Tiny clumps of earth periodically fall from the ceiling as you approach this tunnel, and several of the supports that hold the walls up have gaping cracks in them. And there's a picture of the tunnel. See? If you dive into the water, do 22. If you explore the partially tunnel, okay, I'm gonna go with caution. I can't hold my breath, so I don't like to want to get wet anyways. So we're gonna go to the partial collapse tunnel, story 16. Let's see what happens. Without warning, the earthen walls begin to collapse around you, and before you can react, you are up to your waist in dirt. You writhe and twist trying to escape, but it only causes more soil to cascade down. Soon it's up to your shoulders, then your neck, then your cheeks. You struggle to spit the soil out as it fills your mouth, but within moments you are fully buried. You can only see the dark earth in front of your eyes. Your hands close around a metal disc, perhaps a coin. You'll never know, though, as the soil fills your lungs and the world wavers and goes gray before finally turning black. The end. Oh, I died. Alright, so move back one space on the psychic scale and return to the previous card. Okay, so this was this one. Looks like we're going swimming after all. Let's do. So I already died. Normally, when you do the book, you would just have to start the book over and make different choices. Mustering all the courage you can, you dive into the watery tunnel. There is just enough room in the tunnel above the water for you to lift your head between strokes and take a breath. Eventually, the tunnel drops lower and lower until it's completely submerged underwater. You hold your breath, dive down, and look around. After about 30 feet, the tunnel opens into a bigger body of water, a pond or pool, sunlight beaming into it. You pop up for air. Well, come this far, you think. You're ready to chance it. You take a deep breath and dive back down. You get 10 feet in, 15 feet in, 25 feet in. As you're about to exit the underwater tunnel, something tugs at your leg. You can't tell if it's an animal or if you're caught in an underwater vine. Required challenge. Fight to escape. Win, draw clue 20, lose range danger meter by 4, and try again. Now we have our thing, so I'm going to get to use my knife, and I'll get a bonus. But, so let's see. 3. Well, even I didn't need the knife, but we use it anyways. So we draw clue 20. So let's see what we have here. Okay, the thing, whatever it is, wraps more tightly around your leg. It's pulling you down. Another tendril or tentacle slides around your neck. You pry it off, and with the last strength, you give a powerful kick and you're free. Just like that, the thing is gone. You emerge into a swimming pool with a lush pool house next to it. Lower danger meter by 2 and go to story card 23. Okay, so we just lower it here. It's not going to matter. Let's go to story card 23. Alright. It's obvious that nobody has cleaned the pool in ages. The water is murky green and the surface is littered with leaves and branches. Ripples pulse outward from the center of the pool. Out of nowhere you hear a commotion. You look around and wonder if it's coming from inside the pool house nearby. You see a movement on top of a gazebo in the distance. Someone or something is engaged in a struggle up there. Maybe they need your help. Then again, if you offer your assistance, you might end up needing help yourself. Optional challenge. Investigate the ripples in the pool. Win. Lower the danger meter by 2 and draw clue 8. Lose range danger meter by 2 and you may try again. There's really no penalty, so I'm going to go ahead and do the optional challenge. I'm going to investigate. Okay, I passed. So lower danger meter by 2 and draw clue 8. So let's draw clue 8, see what we get. Okay, you walk down the steps into the water and see what's making the waves. A strange whirling metal spear, slightly bigger than a softball. You impulsively grab it. The spear vibrates in your hand. There are 2 buttons on it. You press one, nothing happens. You press the other button. The spear continues to vibrate. Instinctively, you press both buttons at the same time. The spear stops moving and begins to glow. Draw clue 21. Okay. Alright. Your psychic senses tell you this is an important item. Keep this item. Move forward 3 spaces on the psychic scale. Okay. Finish story card 23. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright. And story card 23, if you go to the pool house, if you go straight to the action at the gazebo, 9. I guess I'm going to go see what the action is. You sprint to the gazebo, practically pushed along by the winds that are picking up. A light sprinkling of rain splatters the ground as you turn. You make it to the shelter of the structure, and the mayhem occurring above you on the roof increases intensely. Who is up there, and what are they doing, you wonder? You notice a driveway about 20 feet away. If you are level 2 or higher, draw clue 27. I am not. If you climb to the top of the gazebo, if you run, story card 10, if you run to the driveway, I guess I'll go to the driveway. Chapter 1, goal achieved. Look at that. You appear in a driveway which leads you to the mansion's entrance. On the door is a plaque that reads Marson and a large crystal doorknob, which seems newer than everything else on the front of the building. You knock loudly many times, but there's no answer. The storm is really picking up now. You try the doorknob and are surprised to find the door is unlocked. You've been lucky enough so far, but you wonder if you missed something. Before you enter the house, you look back. You can see a few clear paths. One leads towards a statuary, another to a small cemetery. 2 more paths stretch out towards a watery ditch with a gate and a house's luxurious pool. You could go back to explore if you want. Story return. There are items in this chapter that will be useful later in the story. You can take a risk and go back for any of the you missed by following the choices below. Otherwise, well, I'm just going to go ahead and advance to chapter 2, and I'm not going to go back. So there we go. I got into the mansion. So let me get chapter 2 set up. And okay, so I chickened out and decided to just go ahead and go into the mansion. Well. You know, hey, we wanted to get in there and see what's going on anyways. So here we go. So all I did was replace chapter 1 stuff, clue cards with chapter 2 clue cards. And here we go, the story cards with chapter 2. And so we're in the mansion. You made it. You're inside the Marson house, the cursed edifice that has haunted your nightmares for weeks. You trek through the mansion grounds has left you with far more questions than answers, to the point where you have to wonder if the smart move would be to turn around right now and forget you ever came to this infernal place. You're no quitter, though. You're an aspiring detective and psychic investigator. You won't give up this case until you find out why a spooky, futuristic mansion you've never seen before has somehow found its way into your dreams. And when you got a call from the house this morning, you're standing in a grand foyer. Its modern decor is elegant in its minimalism. Suddenly, a man in a delivery uniform bursts through a set of tall double doors, screaming, Help, help, they're after me, the man cries. He rushes towards you, but suddenly drops to the ground as if he had been hit by an invisible hammer. You dash to his side and hear his breath coming in short gasps that sound almost like sobs. He gives a terrible shriek and lies still. The man has been frightened to death, you think. Story card 31. Just then he inhales sharply, jumps to his feet, and bolts past you and out of the house. You breathe a sigh of relief. So not quite to death. Something falls from his clothing as he makes his exit and hits the floor. Tinkling, yeah. You go down to inspect the object and discover that it's a small dart. This kind of may have come from a blowgun. Whatever the man was afraid of, his fear seems to have been justified. Just how dangerous is this house? As your thoughts swirl, a loud buzzing noise erupts from somewhere beneath your feet, shaking the floor. The noise is so loud it drowns out the gathering storm outside. Just as quickly as it came, the noise stops. It sure sounds like something weird is happening beneath the manor. You're willing to bet that whatever is happening in this place, the answers await you down there. Alright, draw clue 17 to discover your... 57 to discover your goal. Alright, so clue 57 is... find access to the basement. Alright. You don't see any way to the lower level from the foyer. Rather, a sweeping stairway leads upstairs, while the double doors that the frightened man ran through head off to your right, and a smaller door slightly ajar leads in the opposite direction. Well, if I want to go to the basement, I don't want to go to take the stairs to the second floor. If you go through the double doors, I don't know about him. I'll go through the small door. Let's go to the small door and do card 42. I don't want to come from where that guy just came from. There may be something in there that's trying to kill him. I don't want to do that. And me with no gun. Psh. You enter a parlor, which is decorated in a more old-fashioned way than what you've seen of the house so far. Rich cherry wood paneling covers the walls, and dozens of exotic animal heads are mounted here. Some Martian ancestor was quite fond of hunting, or at the very least taxidermy. Each of the trophies features the same expression, fangs bared and savage eyes that make the animal look ready to leap from the wall and pounce on you. The effect is quite unsettling, but you also sense that they might be hiding something. There are two ways out of here. An open passage that leads into an adjacent library brimming with books and a tightly spiraled iron staircase going up. Okay, optional challenge. Search animal heads. Okay, I think I am going to search animal heads. So let's do that. Ooh, that's my first one. There's nothing I can do. So I have to draw clue 41. So let's do that. That was not good. Ugh. Alright, seeing something reflective inside the open mouth of the cheetah head mounted on the wall, you reach your hand inside and clumsily bump its canine teeth, causing its jaws to clamp down on your hand. Overcome by searing pain, you struggle to pull it out and succeed at escaping with all your fingers, barely. Raise danger meter by 4. Finish story card 42. Okay, that's not good. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the library. I don't want to climb the staircase, so let's do 45. Okay, most of the books lining the walls of this room appear to be first editions of well-known classics. To help each of the reach the tallest shelves, there's a wheeled ladder that can slide across the room. A silver door is on one wall. One book, Introduction to Psychic Dreams, Visions, and Limericks, catches your eye, and you wheel the ladder over, climb up, and grab it. As soon as you pull the book from the shelf, a catch releases, and a hidden door opens on the other side of the room. If you are level 2, I am not. So, if you go through the silver door, if you go through the hidden door, well, let's go through the hidden door. Hidden doors usually lead somewhere good, right? Let's go to hidden door number 40, clue number story card 44. Hopefully I won't die. Okay, entering a child's playroom. Okay, you find a giant overstuffed toy box resting against one wall, and in the middle of the room stands a dollhouse, which appears to be a perfect replica of Martian house. As you approach the dollhouse, you notice that the walls of the playroom are covered with shelves full of porcelain dolls, their eyes peering down at you. It is difficult to break their gaze. The eyes seem to draw you into the blackness of their dead stares. Not looking away, you feel yourself shrinking smaller and smaller. Soon the dolls seem to loom over you, even though more frightening than before, although they never move from their perches. Eventually, you're the size of a doll yourself, and you stand on the playroom floor beside the replica of the Marston house. From where you stand, you can see the front door of the dollhouse. Enter the door of the dollhouse by going to story card 49. This doesn't look good for me. A dollhouse entry has doorways leading to a dining room, a parlor, and a bedroom. Before you can think about where you should go next, something distracts you. There's a force at work here, a presence you can't ignore. Something or someone seems to be calling you, drawing you onward. You can tell. This is the dollhouse is a hub of psychic energy, a nexus of weird power. You'll need to stay sharp. Okay, if you go to the dollhouse dining room, we can go to the parlor or we go to the bedroom. Let's go to the parlor. 57. A piano takes up one corner of the dollhouse parlor. A doll sits on a piano bench, wearing a crown and rich red gown, hands poised above the keys. This is the doll queen, and even though her back is turned, you feel as though she's daring you to face her in some kind of bizarre piano contest of the mind. Perhaps accepting the queen's unusual challenge and defeating her will increase your psychic skills. Maybe. You notice a painting above the piano. It depicts a solarium and is so spellbindingly realistic you can't help but reach out your hand to touch it. You are amazed when your hand disappears into the painting and you can touch the solarium on the other side. This painting is a magical portal and might be your only way out of the dollhouse. Battle. Alright. Optional challenge. Okay, let's try it. Let's try to beat this thing. I gotta get a 4 higher, and I did not get it. So I ranged danger meter by 3, which I'm on 5 now. I can't. I'm not gonna try again. I mean, there's no point, man. All right, if you go to the dollhouse dining room, if you go to the dollhouse bedroom, if you have clue 50, I don't. If you do not have clue 50 and you want to enter the magical portal, draw clue 55. Okay, well, we'll try that. See what clue 55 has to bring. Alright. You take a deep breath and jump into the portal. A pins and needles sensation spreads over your body as you travel the dimensional pathway. When you reach the other side, you're standing in the solarium you saw in the picture. You've returned to your normal size. Go to story card 48. Okay. Once you've entered the solarium, you notice how the glass panes are in angular shapes that create a spiderweb pattern across the ceiling. There are clay pots with exotic plants on every flat surface. Welcome, you hear a female voice say. We're so glad you have found your way here. An elderly woman in a long black dress and white apron glides into view from behind a wall. She appears to be the housekeeper. She raises one finger and curls it towards her, beckoning you. We've been expecting you. Come this way, she says. Something in her voice makes you freeze. This might be trouble. You notice something shiny tucked behind a tropical shrub, but you probably have to deal with the housekeeper before you can investigate it. You glimpse an art gallery beyond the solarium. Attempt to excuse yourself. If you are level 2 higher on the psychic scale, add 1. Win, draw clue. If you do not challenge, if you rudely run away to the art gallery. I don't trust this lady, especially with the spider web there. I don't want to do the challenge because I'll probably lose it. And this thing really says if you rudely. So let's ignore her and leave the solarium door. Let's go to 55. You start to leave, but the woman senses your fear. She smiles again and then begins to fade. You can see right through her now. Her shadowy shape weaves and shifts, building like a hazy cloud. In seconds, she has taken on a new form, a Union general. He has a heavy whip in one hand, and his other hand is clenched into a fist. The plants around the room grow to become 10 feet tall. Even in the darkness, you can tell that they are Venus flytraps, but this size, he won't be content with flies. A general has a crazed look in his eyes, as though he's suffering from a fit of rage. You think you can challenge the authority of Henry Marston? He shouts. He snaps his whip on the floor 3 times, and the great giant's Venus flytraps move towards you. Uh-oh. With every shred With every shred of his ghostly power, Marson snaps a whip at your feet. The force of the violent crack is so mighty it sends you sailing backward directly into the maw of one of the hungry plants. The Venus flytrap takes 3 quick bites, and in one slow gulp, you are no longer exist. The end. Move back 1 space on the psychic scale. And return to story card 48. Alright, so that's twice I've died. So I have to rudely run away. Stepping into the marble floor art gallery, you're amazed by more than 100 gold-framed paintings, plus countless abstract modern sculptures on the pedestals. Wow. The entire collection must be worth gazillions. Too bad you've got no time to admire any of it. You're eager to keep moving. French doors lead to the study, and a doorway leads outside. You can see a pathway leading to an attached structure that appears to be a mother-in-law apartment. If you are level 2 or higher... No, I don't. Dang it, man. If you walk through the French doors, go to story card 33. I guess I'll go through the French doors. I'm still looking for a basement. Once inside the study, you're shocked to find 12 pairs of eyes staring at you in outrage. You stop dead in your tracks. There are a dozen shady-looking people, all stuffing briefcases with bundles of cold, hard cash, literally taking money out of the ice-filled coolers. You take another step, and all but one of the guys takes off, suddenly spooked. The last one turns and glares at you. Since he's holding his briefcase tightly with both hands, you're pretty sure you can take him. You see a hallway on the other side of the room that might serve to be a quick exit. Optional. Challenge the man with the cash-filled briefcase. Okay, so I want to try this one because it is a fight, and I get a +1. Oh, my God. Alright, raise the danger meter by 3. Well, I'm on 6 now, so... Shit. My rolling stinks. Head down the hallway by drawing clue 45. Well, my rolling has been terrible. Alright, you race down the hallway past photographs and paintings of an old prison. You reach the end of the hall and find a metal door. Go to story card 60. Okay. Chapter 2, goal achieved. You shove the metal door open. When you close it behind you, clang. It sounds like the door is a jail cell slamming shut. You turn to check out where you are. This is an elevator. There's an elevator. You get in, press the close door button, and finally get a moment to catch your breath. You can't believe what you've been through so far, but this elevator should be your ticket to the basement. And that should bring you one more step closer to uncovering the mystery of the sounds you heard when you first entered Marson House. Now that you know where the elevator is, you wonder if you should go back to the basement now, or go back investigate. Well, okay, so... let's just advance, see how it goes. Okay. Alright, let's get chapter 3 on the way. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to discard my water and lower the danger meter by 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm still going to get 5, but I'm not going to be at 6, thank God. Alright, so the rescue. You're still not sure what's really going on in this place. You were already freaked out by the creepy stuff you saw outside the Marson house, and the discovery of actual spirits from beyond the grave inside the house has only made you more on edge. You still your nerves and remind yourself that you're not just an aspiring detective, you're a psychic investigator. Have this game told you that you're an aspiring detective and psychic investigator? I really want to make sure you know. You eat spirits from beyond the grave for breakfast. Okay. Not really, but the point is you feel a surge of confidence. You can do this. At any rate, you've come way too far to turn back now. So all you can do is hope that the depths of the house hold some insight into the mysterious nightmares that have plagued you for weeks and drew you to this modern architecture house of horrors in the first place. And on a side note here, I want to just tell you that this is the actual story text from the Choose Your Own Adventure book. So this is when you're a young kid and reading these books, this is what you're reading, you know. I just thought that was interesting. But the elevator, which of all your hopes rest on, is totally trashed. The last person to use it must have really hated elevators. Based on the scratch marks on the walls, they might have had sharp claws too. A strange sensation now washes over you. Your head spins, you lose your balance, and you fall to your knees. Although you don't quite black out, you're overwhelmed by visions as if your consciousness leaves your body and travels through the house's lower reaches on a mind power alone. You drift downward through a meeting room full of huge, shadowy figures and a laboratory stocked with equipment. Continue on story card 61. You're aware. Awareness projects deeper. Under the estate, you finally come to a jail cell. Your mind can't penetrate to see who's inside, but a wave of anguish emits from it like heat from the sun. You sense that the person trapped inside is responsible for what you have encountered so far and could help with what you'll encounter next. Draw clue 76 to discover your goal. Okay. So let's do that. Okay, so 76 is rescue the prisoner you sense from your psychic projection. Okay. Alright, your mind joins your body again as though swiftly snapping back into place. It takes you a moment to get your bearings. You're in your own body, in an elevator, in a spooky house that somewhat regret ever setting foot inside. You check the panel and find that all the buttons have been pried off except two. They might be for the only active basement levels. Of course, it's also possible that there's floors to whoever wrecked this elevator wants to lure you. With a whoosh, the elevator doors close. Alright, you press the button on the sub-basement 2. You press the button on sub-basement 3. Now, I tend to think that the lower you go, the more dungeony you get. So, let's go to sub-basement 3. So, we'll go to card 78. The elevator drops with a jerk and continues to sub-basement 3. The door opens up into a room with tables holding funnels, glass beakers, test tubes, thermometers, and safety goggles. It looks like a biochemistry lab. It's also a complete wreck, just like the elevator, so you can add biochemistry to the list of things the vandal has a grudge against. There's a desk in the corner. Based on the pattern of stuff scattered on the floor, it appears someone was dragged away from it by force and then taken out a door and down the hall. Another door leads into a room where you can see a large glass vats full of glowing blue liquid. If you follow the path of destruction down the hallway, well, I'm going to say let's go follow the path of destruction instead of the blue liquid. Let's see what happens. As you look at the scuffs, broken objects, and smudges of blood, you posit someone's been dragged down this hallway. The trail ends inexplicably in the middle of the hall. Was the person picked up and carried the rest of the way? There are 3 doors here. You can hear the soft hum of machinery coming from behind a green metal door. A wooden door is partially open and looks like it leads to a break room. There is nothing but silence coming from inside. The last door is closed tight, but the room behind it isn't anything close to quiet. In fact, you can hear the frenzied cries of very large animals. There's a window on the floor, on the door that has been broken with cardboard taped over it. If you're level 3 or higher, I am not. I'm still level 1. Let's go to the room full of screeching beasts. Let's see what that does. So we got to go 84. There are more than a dozen screeching chimps here, packed around a big conference table. A middle-aged woman is giving a business presentation to them using an overhead projector. Its parentheses covered in colorful pie charts. "Who's there?" the woman yells. She turns to the room full of chimps. "What are you waiting for? You know what to do. These chimpanzees are giant. Not even your karate training will help you here." Karate training. See, that's why you bring a gun. In a choreographed movement, each of the chimps produces a long bamboo blowpipe, places a dart inside, points a pipe at you, and blows into the tube with a loud thump sound. You immediately feel 20 pinpricks from 20 darts and the slow flow of poison through your system as you fall asleep forever. Oh my God. The end. Move back 2 spaces on the side. Previous cards. God, I'm not getting anywhere. Well, at least we know what frightened the guy. You know? Alright, so let's go back here. We got to try the break room or the machine room. So let's go to the machine room. Let's go to the break room. Let's see. Maybe somebody's taking a break. At first glance, it seems to be a perfect, ordinary office break room with a coffee machine, particle board tables, and uncomfortable plastic chairs. But on closer inspection, certain details seem off. An employee manual features a chimpanzee in casual business attire on the cover, and the workplace safety posters show chimps rather than humans lifting boxes and climbing ladders. What? There are two doors in this room, other than the one you came in. A closed one labeled water closet. Isn't that what bathrooms are sometimes called in England? A one that leads into a completely dark tunnel that seems to have been dug straight into the earth. Free action. Take some coffee with you in a thermos you found. Draw clue 59. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hey, help me. Coffee. This extra focus provided by a sudden boost of caffeine can give you a reroll on your next challenge. Discard or reroll a die roll. Keep this item. Okay, alright, we found some coffee. Let's go to the dark tunnel, 87. Coffee. I really don't drink coffee, but, you know, hey. You can't see more than a few feet in front of you as you walk down the tunnel, so when a man's voice calls out from the darkness, you almost jump out of your skin. Hey, you! You freeze. What now? You're the new lab assistant, right? It's about time you've got here. You have the briefcase? Uh-oh. If you do not have clue 38, which I don't, draw clue 82. I don't have it. The man spits on the tunnel floor. Was it not clear that you were supposed to meet me here with the briefcase, he says. Raise danger meter by 3. Ah, man, alright. Finish story card 87. Alright. The man rushes down the tunnel in a direction he came from, his footsteps booming in the darkness. There's a door with iron bars built into the wall here. It looks like it could lead to some sort of cell or maybe a kennel. It's unlocked. Let's open the cell door, see what's inside. You slide open the bar door. It looks much more industrial than the other rooms you've been in. The door slides shut on its own clang. You hear the lock behind it. Hear it locked behind you. You see some kind of gated structure down the hallway in front of you and quickly press yourself against the wall when you realize that 2 figures are guarding it. There's also a desk on the side of the room that's out of the guard's line of sight. If you are a level psychic, no. If you try your luck with the guards, if you sneak across the room. Well, we'll try to sneak across the room. How about that? You make it to the desk unnoticed. There's only thing here is a fancy new computer. It's a shiny beige box underneath the monitor that glows with rows of green text and blinking command prompt. If you can manage to break through the computer's security, you might find some useful information stored in its internal memory. Alright, so... Alright, let's try this challenge. I know I'm on 6, but, oh man, there's no way. No, there's no way. I'm at 6. Ugh. Alright, the one way out of here is down the hall to gate, which is guarded by 2 chimps. Alright, let's go to 74 and do the chimps. See if I can bluff my way past the chimps. I don't know how I'm going to do that. The 2 guards are huge chimpanzees as tall as you are. They are walking upright just like you. They are wearing security guard uniforms just like you are not. They notice this key difference. They attack. Required challenge. Alright. Alright. So I can get a +1. I got a reroll. Alright. So I guess this card, I guess I'll do the coffee. Okay, I got it. 6. 5 + 1 is 6. So I get rid of the coffee, but we passed. Win. Turn over this card and continue reading. Once you defeat the chimpanzee guard, you find that the gate will only open with an electronic key card. Well, I don't have that key card. Go to story card 88. Huh. Without that key card, you're trapped. You can't get past the gate, and though you can't leave the detention center through the locked door. Just as you're about to give up, you spot a hole in the ceiling tiles, mostly obscured by shadows in the corner of the room. Go through the hole in the ceiling by drawing clue 70. Okay. The hole opens up into you find a secret passage. Okay, so I don't think ascend the shaft. I don't think I'll be able to do it. No. Raise danger meter by 1. So there we go. And draw a clue. Okay. Lose, range, and try again. I just got to keep trying. Okay, I failed that. Failed that. Failed that. Failed that. Okay, failed that. Alright, got a 6 finally. Alright, so wait, let's see what happens, man. So nothing really happens. I'm kind of stuck. I'm at the worst place I could possibly be. I'm here. I went back to 3, so I should have been able to roll once you go there, because you got to reset. So I rolled 3 more times and I lost, right? Yeah. So 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right. So back up to 5, and I get clue 81. All right. You climb 20 feet when the handheld suddenly recede into the wall and disappear. This isn't just any secret passage, it's a booby-trapped one. Think fast. Avoid falling. Okay. No. Lose. Raise danger meter by 2. Alright, so basically it's going to reset. And try again. Failed. Okay, got it. Lower danger meter by 1 and draw clue 78. Okay. You found a ledge, but getting onto it is going to take some serious agility. Win. Okay. Okay, pass. Win. Lower danger meter by 1 and draw clue 73. So I can go back to there. Okay, I'm finally on a decent roll here. There we go. Oh, why? There's a passage carved in the stone wall here, but someone has piled up a bunch of rocks to block the entrance. Move all the rocks. Pass. Okay. Lower danger meter by 1 and draw clue 79. God, okay. Alright, there we go. Oh, boy, more. Halfway down the passage, you find a chimpanzee sitting in desk, smoking cigarettes and watching TV. He looks angry, yeah. Alright, let's do this again. Fight. And we pass. Win. Lower danger meter by 1. Okay, and draw clue 75. Man, we're going on this clue stuff here. You run past a chip and ride in a 10-foot guinea pig. It's adorable and it can kill you. Attack it, fighting, sneak past it. Okay, I'm going to fight. Conquer the guinea pig. 4. I passed. Lower danger meter by 2 and draw clue 77. Key card. You see an Axis key card on the floor. You grab it and run through the doors in front of you. Unsure of what is on the other side. Keep this item. Go to story card 69. Okay, yeah, that's good. So I found the key card. You're now in a chamber with 3 prison cell doors. There are heavy iron things with a small barred windows that make it difficult to see what might be inside. There's a ring of 3 keys hanging from a nail on the wall. If you try cell A, cell B, or cell C. Well, I guess we should just try... Let's try A. Let's start at the beginning. Why not? There's a sleeping figure in cell A, curled up with his back towards you. You can wake up the prisoner and try talking to him, attempt to subdue him before he gets the opportunity to attack you, or just leave. Okay, I'm going to try talking to him. So draw clue 65. You patiently wait for the prisoner to awaken, and when he does, you discover that he's one of those human-sized chimpanzees. The moment he sees you, he lunges at you, beats you back out of the cell, and slams the door behind you. Raise danger meter by 2. Okay, and go to story card 69. Alright. think this is story card 69, yeah. Okay, so we tried cell A. Let's try cell B. Cell B is empty. Search all you want. There's nothing here. All right, well, let's go to C, which is 85. Okay, someone sleeping on a cot in cell C with a thin blanket pulled over their face. You can wake the prisoner up so you can talk to him, attack him, or tiptoe. Again, I'll try talking to the prisoner. I know it didn't work last time, but you can't be that twice in a row. Alright, you gently shake the prisoner by the shoulder. He flings the blanket from his face. It's an exhausted looking man who's obviously relieved that someone has finally come to rescue him. Thank you. I'm Professor Marston, he says. Marston, you ask? Are you related to Henry Marston? Yes, this was the estate of my ancestor, General Marston, but at the moment we have more urgent things to discuss. Go to story card 90. Okay. Chapter 3, goal achieved. Hey. Professor Marston looks worried. You have to help me stop my former research assistant, he says. She's twisted our scientific research for evil. So she's responsible for all these chimps, you ask? Yes, he says, but there's something bigger afoot. I'm talking about the alien science. What? Marston says he can provide you all the answers you're looking for, but you should first make sure you're prepared to leave this section of the house behind. He can give you explicit direction to important locations if you think you might have missed anything. Well, I got a key card, so let's go. Let's go on to the next chapter. We've achieved chapter 3. All right. I died, what, once, twice? Who knows? Okay, so we're on chapter 4, the hideout. After encountering dangers outside the house, facing multiple ghosts inside the house, discovering underground laboratory, and stumbling upon angry chimpanzees, you're ready to get some answers about this place and the nightmares that have brought you here. The mysterious phone call I got was this morning, you say. It was you, wasn't it? Phone call? What phone call? Wait, it couldn't have found a way to access the phone lines, could it? Professor Marston's eyes go wide. Then he sees the look on your face and shakes his head. Well, that's not important right now, he says. Something about his tone leads you to suspect it is important, but you don't push it. If you've managed to get this far, you must be quite the aspiring detective. And psychic investigator, you add. Of course. You go on to tell him about the recurring nightmares that drove you to delve into this whole bizarre mystery. Nightmares, he asks. Fascinating. If your dreams mean what I think they do, then I'm glad you're here. I can explain more later, but right now getting to the neuron inhibitor mainframe is the crucial thing. It's the only way to retake the lab from my dastardly former lab assistant, Carol. He says the name in a hoarse whisper as if speaking it alone could summon an ancient evil. Continue story card 91. Together we discovered a source of technology far beyond anything this world has ever seen, but she betrayed me. She used our work to take control of the chimpanzees and start a counterfeiting ring with the local crime syndicate. We made scientific discoveries worth of Einstein, of Galileo, and then she just uses it all to... He trails off. I'm sorry. I've been locked in here so long that I've forgotten my manners. Now that you freed me, I can open a secret passage for you that will lead to the neuron inhibitor mainframe. It will take you through the area where our most experimental work was being conducted. Be careful. It can get dangerous in there. Is this me who's going, you ask, with a fear in your voice? Yes, he says. I'll need to monitor your progress from the operations room where I have access to the security system. Here, use this earpiece so we communicate. Okay, draw clue 91 to discover your goal. And 91 is disable the neuron inhibitor mainframe. The clear glass door leads to the temporal manipulation lab, the professor continues. The frosted glass door goes to the psychic development room. The professor takes off for the operations room as the secret passage opens from the empty jail cell next door. The two glass doors are now before you. Too bad the professor didn't explain which route was the best way to get to the... Yeah, he didn't. Let's go to psychic development room. Hell, we're at a psychic. Let's go 115 here. This room features several rows of blue metal chairs. Dome-shaped helmets attached to odd-looking devices hang above the chairs. There's also a large glass tube big enough for you to step into with a door on the side. A green button is accessible from inside the tube. You slowly realize you've seen these machines before. In the photos of the reference book Ghosts and Ghouls, which you have on your bookshelf back home. And that's a Nintendo game, right? The photos were in a chapter about how rogues parapsychologists were attempting to give ordinary people psychic abilities. If you remember correctly, the blue chairs are attached to machines intended to give the subject pyrokinesis, the ability to start fires with mind control. The large glass tube is an energizing chamber that gives people telekinesis, the ability to move objects with one's mind. Both seem ready to go. A metal stairwell on the far side of the room leads to some sort of observation booth which overlooks the room you're in and possibly others. Ooh, let's start fire. If we go to pyrokinesis, telekinesis, if you skip this equipment, I'm going to do it, man. I want to be fire starter. So let's go be fire starter. Be one of the X-Men. As soon as you sit down on the cold metal seat, a dome helmet drops onto your head and begins rewiring your neural pathways to activate mysterious, previously untapped portions of your brain. It's fun. And more importantly, it gives you the ability to create fire with a simple thought. Creating fire is easy, but actually controlling it is a different story. In fact, once you realize you've lit your shirt ablaze and your panicked attempts to diminish the flames in the mind only create more, you burn yourself up in mere seconds. The end. Move back to space and return to story card 115. Alright, well that didn't work out too well. Let's see what telekinesis is. Hell, I want to become Professor X. You enter the energizing chamber and shut the door. You press the green button on the interior wall and the room goes dark while the large glass tube emits a blinding white light, forcing you to cover your eyes with your hands. You can feel the machine rewiring your neural pathways to activate mysterious, previously untapped portions of your brain. The pain is horrible. Part of you thinks if you can just endure the pain a little longer, unlimited mental powers might be unlocked. Another part of you is concerned that your head might literally explode. Okay, I'm not level 4. If you stay in the chamber, let's work through the pain. Let's work through the pain. Come on, Captain America did it. We can do it. You might become a super soldier. Clue 98. Let's do clue 98. Alright. Telekinesis. You now have the power to move things with your mind. You think about this as you run for the observation booth. Once per challenge, you may raise the danger meter by 2 to re-roll a die roll. Keep this item. Move forward 1 space on the psychic scale. Go to story card 99. Okay. Yeah. So that one was worth it, I guess. The observation booth has thick windows that look down into the circular chamber where you see a human-sized chip in a hospital gown sitting at a table. The poor animal's head is shaved and usually swollen. Electrodes are attached to its pulsing veins. The chimp is gazing intently at a small wooden boat which is floating in midair above the table. The chimpanzee sees you, and the moment his eyes meet you start to black out. You break eye contact just before losing consciousness and decide you better exit this room quickly. Next to a fire extinguisher on the wall is a map which gives you a quick overview of this area. You orient yourself and see that the observation booth is next to cryogenic labs and the supercomputer room. If you go to the cryogenic lab, let's go to the supercomputer. I don't know about cryogenics. I don't want to become Mr. Freeze. As soon as you enter the room, the computer lights up. Present your credentials. A digital voice demands. It must be the computer. You mutter something about being the new lab assistant. I judge that to be false. You have come here seeking answers. My memory banks contain all the information you desire, but access is forbidden. You don't see a keyboard, so apparently voice commands are the only way to interact with this thing. Unless, of course, you can best me in a competition of my choosing, the computer continues. Beware, human. No flesh creature has ever defeated me in my limitless mind. If you agree to compete with the computer, draw clue 97. I'm going to compete with it. Why not? I'm on 3. A compartment opens in the computer's casing and a robotic arm extends. The supercomputer wants to arm wrestle you. Okay. 6. So win. Draw clue 102. Okay. Quantum synthesis stabilizer. You defeat the supercomputer and gain access to its files. One is a diagram of a rod-shaped device called the quantum synthesis supervisor. If you have clue 39, which I don't, if you do not have clue 39, discard this card. Okay, well, that one. If you go to observation door, if you take the armory door. Ooh, let's go to the armory. Maybe I get a weapon. You enter the armory, the door closes behind you, and you hear it lock automatically. The room is nearly empty, and you realize with shudder that whatever weapons are usually kept here are probably in the hands of people or chips roaming the halls outside. The only thing left is a massive artillery gun mounted on a swivel in the center of the room. There are also a bunch of lockers lining the wall if you'd like to search through one. Search the lockers. Yeah, okay. I'll try. Well, I didn't do that one. Raise the danger meter by 2. Try again. Okay. Got a 4, so that's where I'm at. Win. Draw clue 92. Hypersonic resonator. You find a tech catalog with... If you have clue 87, I do not. If you do not have clue 87, discard this card. Okay, well, there's a door here, and you can see through its window that leads to a stairwell. Fortunately, this door is locked. The artillery gun you found has a shell on it, so you could probably blast your way through. As a matter of fact, why limit yourself? With the thing you could possibly get through the wall, blow a hole through the wall. Just blow a hole through the door. I don't want to blow a hole through the wall. You never know what you're going to hit with that thing. You go up a long flight of stairs that leads to the observatory. You find Professor Mars staring at you. How'd you get here first, you ask? It's all my fault, he murmurs, sadly, lost in thought. We reached out to the stars, and they reached back. But when the creature made contact, we got greedy and captured him for further study. I figure your nightmares means he's sending out telepathic messages in hopes of being rescued. If you want them to end, you must set the creature free. This is why, the professor continues, we need to take back the compound from Carol, disable the new unenable mainframe controlling the chimpanzees, and free the alien ambassador. Carol watches over the mainframe constantly, continues, so you'll be heading into great danger. Make sure you're fully prepared to go on before you go on to the next one. Alright, there's a hallway to the mess hall. If you'd like to go back for no. To move on, continue but. Let's go to the mess hall. I don't want to go outside the house. So we'll go to 119. The mess hall is filled with long metal tables and ugly plastic chairs. Judging by the sheer volume of rotting banana peels piled into overflowing trash cans, you guess that it's mostly used by chimpanzees. Chimpanzees who don't compost. The room has high ceilings, and you can see an area on the next level with a railed balcony that overlooks the room. There might be something interesting up there, but you have to climb to find out. There's also a door which leads to the pantry in which you see a cupboard. I guess I'll try the optional challenge. Okay, that's fine. We got it. Win. Lower danger meter by 3 and go to story card 111. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, and the danger meter. I'll go to story card 111. Okay. From here you can see into a meeting room which is packed to the gills with super chimps. A woman in a lab coat. It must be the diabolical Carol is operating a large console that must be part of the neuron here mainframe. Looks pretty solid, but if you're lucky you might be able to reach it and to damage it enough to free the chimps from Carol's control before anyone could stop you. There's also a metal staircase leading down to an aircraft hangar. You see a truck parked in it, but you can't sure if anyone is guarding it. There's Carol. If you rush into the meeting room, I don't see that. Let's sneak into the hangar. I don't see me rushing in there to be any good. You sneak into the hangar and discover to your great relief that it's unoccupied. There are parts here from what might be kind of alien aircraft, and tools lie scattered around them on the floor. From here you can see a large egg-shaped object on the lawn outside the hangar. Search the tools for something useful. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Why not? I'm at 3. Oh my god. Lose. Rage danger meter by 1. Damn it. That is terrible, man. You can raise the damage and re-roll the die. I'm going to re-roll the die. Okay, I got it that time. So I'll draw clue 89. Ooh, tear gas gun. Neato, keep this item. Okay, if you have clue 3, I don't. If you do not have clue 3, go to story card 114. You sneak over to the big round object. The thing is a spaceship. It has a cold ceramic skin and is perfectly smooth. You can't find a single bolt or seam. From here you can see a window to the main house where the whole bunch of chimpanzees are gathered around a boardroom table with a woman in front of the room. It's Carol. Yeah, I know. First things first, you climb aboard the aircraft, look at the instruments, and get the psychic sensation that you already possess the knowledge to operate the vehicle. There's a metal lock protecting the control panel, though. If you get busted, you might be able to get this thing moving. Break the lock. Okay, well, I'll try. Got a 6. So, draw clue 101. Through brute force, you manage to break the lock, but you damage the ship's controls in the process. You're tossed from the cockpit as the vehicle lurches a few inches in air and rockets across lawn straight into the room full of chimpanzees. Go to story card 107. There's a large sliding glass door that opens into the meeting room, but the egg-shaped ship misses entirely and crashes straight through the wall. A space cannon emerges from the haps in the ship's hull and starts firing laser beams at random into the room. The chimps go bananas. It's total chaos. You couldn't have created a barrier to distraction if you planned it. You jump out of the ship. If you move quickly and stealthily and somehow manage to avoid the rampaging chips and the uncontrolled laser fire, maybe you can disable the neuron here mainframe before anyone stops you. Okay, required challenge. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. 3. Okay, I did not get it. I'm at 4. But I can, I don't want to reroll. Well, I'm at 4, so I might as well raise it and reroll. Alright, so I got it. So I was able to raise it by 2 because of my telekinesis. It's still at 4, and I got it. So go to story card 113. The computer doesn't have a button that's clearly labeled off, so you hit the neuron inhibitor mainframe console as hard as you can with a chair and sparks fly from it. Every chimpanzee in the room instantly passes out and falls to the floor. The egg ship has apparently run out of laser juice too because the cannon sputters and lowers back into its hatch. Carol, however, is still a problem. My computer, she screams. My chimpanzees, my meeting room wall. Who even are you? She flies at you with rage. She definitely wants to kill you, and she seems to be giving it everything she's got. Knock out Carol. I can knock her out. I can use my tear gas gun. And I got her. Go to story card 106. Or 105. Okay. Chapter 4, goal achieved. You thwarted Carol's evil plot, freed a whole mansion full of super intelligent chimpanzees, and broken up a counterfeiting ring. On top of that, you've helped Professor Marston win back control of his lab. Now he'll have plenty of time to consider the implication of his blind pursuit of knowledge and devote the rest of his career to making things right again. All that's left to do now is bask in your supreme triumph. You sit in Carol's chair, lean back, and put your feet up on what remains of the meeting room table, confident that your job is done. Or is it? Go to story card 120. Okay. An alarm sounds, and about 50 lights on the neural inhibitor mainframe console start blinking. Professor Marston comes running into the room. Oh no, he mutters under his breath. That thing's probably just malfunctioning, you say. I really did a number on it. You both jolt back as a strange booming voice comes from a speaker on the neuron inhibitor mainframe console. The full force of the Karasik Armada is upon you, it says. We demand the release of our ambassador. Although we hate violence, we reduce your entire planet to galactic rubble if you do not obey us. The significance of this moment hits you. You've just heard the words of an actual alien life form. The professor is as pale as a ghost. Let's release the alien, you say. That's what we're planning to do anyway, right? About that, he says, it may not be quite simple. Advance to chapter 5. Okay, so we're going to finally move on to the final chapter. We get to keep all inventory items, so let's get that going. Okay, so we're on the final chapter, chapter 5, the invasion. You've crossed the deadly estate surrounding the Marston house, come face to face with spirits from beyond the grave, and found yourself at the mercy of strange scientific experiments. You fought oversized, super-intelligent chimpanzees, freed them from mind control, and discovered a counterfeiting ring along the way. Now a fleet of UFOs is barreling toward Earth, and unless you can free the imprisoned alien ambassador before they arrive, the entire planet is doomed. The alien is locked away in an old prison beneath the mansion, Professor Marston says. It's a dangerous labyrinth, not easily navigated. What are you talking about, you reply. There are 3 cells in that place. We were there 45 minutes ago. That's a new prison, the professor says, where antisocial chimpanzees are held until they can be rehabilitated. The entire compound is built over the ruins of an old prison which burned down more than a century ago. My great-great-great-grandfather was a warden. You remember your strange out-of-body visions in the elevator and the deep sense of foreboding that came with them? We should never have put him down. Continue story card on 121 there. The professor says, the prison has always been a horrible, cursed place, but now that the creature has found a way to make contact with the world outside its cell, wait a second, you say. The alien ambassador isn't just responsible for my nightmares, is he? The alien was the one who called me this morning. But how did he even find me? The phone book is full of private investigators with far more experience than I have. You suddenly remember, however, that your Yellow Pages ad doesn't list you as an aspiring detective. It lists you as a psychic investigator. I'll find the alien, you say, to reassure yourself. As much as Professor, I was born to do this. But before he can respond, the Professor notices something on the mainframe console and gasps. The alien Armada will enter the Earth's atmosphere in just 20 minutes. You must find the alien ambassador and free him quickly or all is lost. Draw clue 108 to discover your goal. Okay. Release the alien ambassador and attempt to save planet Earth. Alright. Okay, you say, you've been down there before, right? Do you have a map? No. Carol handled all that. All I know is that there are 2 ways to get into the structure. Through the original prison entrance around the back of the house and through a long dark hallway that I've always been too afraid to investigate. Don't forget, keep your earpiece turned so we can communicate. Let's head to for the prison entrance. I don't want to go where he's scared to go. We never know when he was down there. You find the entrance to the old prison through an abandoned section of the house. The boards that were nailed up to keep people out have mostly rotted away, and they were put up at least 50 years after the fire. You can hardly imagine what kind of shape the prison is itself in. You pry the boards off and carefully step into the room. This must have been some kind of check-in area for prison guards and other employees. There's a large hole carved in one wall, which opens into a rough stone tunnel. There are also 2 doors, but only the wooden one opens. The other is sealed tight, with an unusual lock that has a small, round, gem-shaped identification where the keyhole ought to be. If you have clue 50, I do not. If you crawl through the hole, if you try the wooden door. Well, I guess I'll try the wooden door first. You find yourself in a room filled with old filing cabinets. They're metal, so they made it through the fire that destroyed the prison so long ago without too much damage. They're also flying around the room all on their own, slamming open and shut at random intervals. You now realize why Professor Marston never wanted to come down here. This place is super haunted. There's a burnt-out hallway on the other side of the room, as well as an old rope and pulley elevator that servants might have used. But you're going to have to get past a bunch of angry filing cabinets to get to the exit. They require a challenge. Okay, let's do the challenge. Got it. Win. Lower danger meter by 3. Alright, 1, 2, 3. After challenge, make story choice below. If you head down the hallway, let's head down the hallway. I don't want to do the rope and pulley. So let's head down the hallway. You hear the professor's voice in your earpiece. This is the section of the prison where the less dangerous inmates were held, it says. A century later, even their ghosts are relatively peaceful. Most of them are just relaxing in their cells, but one which appears to be sealed up tight. You feel a mild sense of dread when you look into the open cell, but you might just be your imagination. After all, you've been spending a lot of time around ghosts lately. Out in the common area, one ghost is attempting to dig a hole through a wall, but isn't making much progress with his ghostly pickaxe. There's a real pickaxe on the floor nearby. If you'd like to give him a hand, at the very least, it would give you another way out of this room, since there's no other door except the one to the spooky empty cell. Alright, let's help dig. Pass. Lower danger meter by 2. Okay, and draw clue 121. Okay. Your plan works, and the 2 of you finish digging the hole together. The ghost starts crawling into the hole and fades away into the air. You wonder if he escaped from the cell or from his earthly bonds altogether. If you follow him through the hole... I guess I'll follow him through the hole. I guess I'll go to 124. See what happens. You emerge into a prison yard where inmates were given time for exercising outside their cells. Sitting cross-legged in the center of open space, a human-sized chimpanzee. Every bit as alive as you are. 2 ghost prison guards are speaking with the chimp and gesturing wildly at you. Do you see another of your kind has come to challenge you? I'm not here to challenge any, you say in protest, but then you trail off. Hold on, do you think I'm a chimpanzee? You can't threaten me, the chimp says, waving her closed fist at you. I have a talisman here that controls ghosts, so watch out. The ghost guards gaze at each other quizzically. If she really does have a ghost control talisman, it sure would come in handy. Okay, I think I'll fight her. And I win. So I draw clue 123. Battery. You get your hands on the chimpanzee's talisman, which turns out to be a simple 9-volt battery. It does not control ghosts. However, it could power a flashlight or taser or who knows what else. Keep this item. Okay. Alright, the only exits are a crumbling hallway and a big hole in the ground. Looks like something's glowing down there. Well, let's go into the hole. You descend into a cave with a glassy obsidian walls and a perfectly still circular pool in the center. A perfectly still pool that's glowing. Is it otherworldly ectoplasmic goo? Alien spaceship fuel? Good old-fashioned radioactive sludge? You have no idea, but you're pretty sure drinking from it would kill you or give you superpowers. What the? If you like to drink from the pool, draw a clue. No, I'm not going to drink that. There's a stone wall with a tunnel framed in and a red brick leading away from the pool. There's also something giving off a gross, dank smell at the far end of the pool, if you'd like to investigate. Let's go to the tunnel with the red brick. Drink that. Yeah, probably give me something good, but I'm not going to risk that. That's stupid. The tunnel opens up into what was once a large common area. It's full of luminescent ghost prisoners who have been actively rotting for more than a century, ever since they all died here. With all the chunks of stone and masonry flying around the room, you can't imagine how they managed to carry on like this for so long without bringing what's left of the prison down on top of them. Then you're simultaneously hit in the head with a stone block and impaled with a section of iron bars, so you don't need to worry about it anymore. Move back. 125, okay. Alright, well, it looks like I died there. So it looks like we got to go here, and we follow the smell. The dank soil gives way beneath your feet, and you tumble to a very smelly, healing cavern. Here you discover that the stench is wafting up from a colony of mushrooms, spotted ones and striped ones. It covers most of the floor and walls. If you learn anything from playing video games, which would be Atari, or arcade, I guess, though, it's that eating random mushrooms you come across in the middle of adventure is almost a good idea. Yeah, right. Choose one, then continue. I'll eat both kinds. I'll go to 111. Why not? Okay, mushrooms. The striped mushrooms give you temporary superhuman strength, but the poison spotted mushroom negates its effect. Discard after one-time use. Keep this item. Range danger meter by 2. Finish story card 128. Okay. When you're done snacking, there's only one way to leave this cavern, and it's through a pitch black tunnel. Go to 135. The tunnel leads to a high exit upon the wall of a large lead-lined prison cell. Beneath you, the crystalline form of the crystalline ambassador lies motionless on the floor. The ambassador looks up, sees you, and sends a telepathic message directly into your frontal lobes. What manner of creature can pass through the impenetrable walls of my prison, he transmits. Whoever you are, have mercy and free me from this tomb. Impenetrable walls is a tunnel. You're thinking back at him. Have you ever tried escaping? How long have you been down here? I am greatly weakened from my ordeal, the ambassador thinks at you. Also, it's really dark. The only way out of the cell is back the way you came, so if you want to take the ambassador back to the surface with you, you're going to have to lift him into the tunnel. He's quite heavy. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so I failed. I have to raise the danger meter by 3. Try again. However, no. Alright, I do have the mushrooms, though. Okay, so I got a 3. We need a 4, but I do have this. So I can discard after one-time use, and it is a strength check. So that's fine. So I win. I lower danger meter by 5. Okay, and go to story card 146. Okay, You drag the crystalline alien back to the security room. The professor waits. On a monitor, you can see a giant UFO entering Earth's atmosphere. Hurry, the professor says in a panic. The Armada is almost upon us. The alien ambassador rushes to the console. He pushes a button and makes only a series of harsh noises you can only assume are his native language. If you have clue 90, I do not. And on level 1 through 3 on the psychic scale, draw clue 112. If you have clue 90, if you do not have clue 90, continue reading. When he's finished, the alien sends you a telepathic message. I have contacted my people, all is well. So now what, you ask? Go outside and await their arrival. Do not fear them. We have forgiven all of your transgressions and will not murder you or the rest of your species. If you are level 5, I am not. If you are level 1, draw clue 119. I'm level 1. I'm at the bottom of the barrel here. You know what the ambassador said, but something giving you a funny feeling about it. Uh-oh. Go to story card 140. Yeah, he's mad. Are you sure everything is fine, you ask, because the way you said it, it doesn't really sound like it's fine. The alien rearranges his face into what might be a crystalline scowl. Fine, fine. Do you mean to ask whether it's fine that I was locked in a dungeon for years while your people tore my ship to pieces and stole technology you are not advanced enough to use or understand? Now that I think about it, your entire planet will die for your crimes, but the two of you in particular will truly suffer. The ambassador lunges at you. What a bastard. Fight the alien ambassador. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Pretty good. Move forward 4 spaces on the psychic scale. So we go to 4. And read story card 147. You rush outside with the professor just as a massive fleet of crystalline flying saucers descends through the clouds. If only I had finished assembling my doomsday device, the professor laments. Wait a second, you say. You were working on a doomsday device? Well, technically it's a defense against doomsday devices, but if you point it the wrong way, it will definitely blow up the planet. You really need to remember to this point it's the right way. You really need to remember to point it the right way. The largest alien ship stops above the man and hovers midair. But it's all for nothing, the professor continues. Without my valence quantum capacitor and my quantum synthesized stabilizer and my hypersonic out resonator, it's all is lost. If you have clues 92, 96, or 102, I have none. If you're missing all these clues, draw clue 113. Ah, boy. The professor rummages through your stuff, wasting precious time. Range danger meter by 6. Go to story card 143. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's nothing here we can do to stop them, the professor says, eyes wide. Earth is doomed. He glances at your egg ship parked out the lawn. Your eyes follow his. Instinctively, you both make a mad dash for the ship as the UFO begins firing lasers down above. This thing needs much more fuel if we're going to leave Earth's gravity, the professor says once you're both inside. He frantically empties his pockets into an open compartment on the ship's dashboard, and as the ground outside, the craft begins to buckle. Quick, throw everything we got into the fusion reactor. If you have 12 or more clues with the phrase, keep this item, go to story card 151. If you have fewer than 12 clues with the phrase, I do, go to story card 152. Alright, Chapter 5, goal achieved. That'll have to do it, the professor says. Strap yourself in. This will be a bumpy ride. That turns out to be an understatement. The egg ship blasts into the stratosphere, shaking so hard it gains attitude that you're afraid it will splinter into pieces around you. We don't have enough energy to break free from the planet's gravity, the professor screams. Engaging the FTL drive, he flips up a little plastic cover on the console to reveal a button. A piece of masking tape under it has the handwritten words, faster than light drive, on it. The professor pushes the button. The lights go out in the cockpit. The engine makes a low, grinding sound as they sputter and shut down. Your ship falls like a brick, but before you have a chance to crash to the ground, the entire Earth detonates and you're engulfed in a gargantuan planet-wide explosion. The end. Game over. Alright. Wow. Well, I did pretty bad this game. I died many times. My rolling was crap. I never got past level 1. But there's a whole bunch of different endings, as you can see, depending on the stuff you get. So I guess when it says if you want to go back and try to get more stuff, you should probably try to go back and get more stuff. So what do I think about this game? I don't want to give an overall review yet. I want to play the other one and then give my reviews on the game separately. So that's what I'll probably do. But for right now, I'll just say I liked it. It's different, but I like it. And I'll probably get it more in depth at the end of the War with the Evil Power Master when I play that one. But I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you next time. So until then, have fun.